Welcome to TV Lessons. This is the 5th lesson on how to play the song Bad Boys by Whitesnake. And we're up to the guitar solo. We've learnt all the rhythm, and now comes the rather sort of challenging guitar solo. It's a mixture between sort of blues and shred. It's not really melodic, although there is a very nice harmony, melodic part after the solo, which is more like a bridge. But the solo itself is really sort of a great way to sort of show off, you know, some technique, which Sykes does because it's very sort of uses a lot of his sort of signature moves and things like this with his fast picking. So it's kind of hard to replicate, but you know, you can do your best. So it starts off with a key change. We're now in F sharp minor, and it uses basically F sharp minor pentatonic, so starting on the 14th fret. And it starts off with just like a bend up, a classic bend from the 17th fret like this. So you bend up and then you pick it again with some vibrato from the 17th and you bend it up a full step. And then comes like a little sort of pull-off lick. And what I'm doing here is I bar across the 14th fret on the E and the B string, and I pick the high E, and then I do a pull-off from 17 on the B to the 14 on the B. And then from there, after I pull off to 14 on the B, I pick it again, and I pick 14B, 14E like this. And then you end that phrase with another pull-off from 17 to 14 on the B. So that's the loop right there. So this is like one of the loops. And then if you take those notes that I just played and loop them up in a cycle, you get a very nice sort of fast bluesy lick. And you end it by just playing 17 on the E and then 19 on the E. Like that. And in terms of picking, use whatever's more comfortable. It's not straightforward alternate picking, it's kind of a mixture, because you've got pull-offs thrown in there and string changes and stuff. So play around with it until you find your own sort of picking technique. And then comes a nice little descending pull-off lick through the pentatonic scale, except instead of playing the third, which would be 17, he plays the second, which is 16 on the high E. So instead of playing 17 on the high E, he plays 16. And he switches to the blues scale. So really slowly up close, because with these solos, it's very hard for me to tell you note for note exactly what to do, because you know, all I can show you is kind of an approximation. Okay, so I'll play it very slowly, but if you just think in terms of a descending pentatonic lick in F sharp minor, where you do play the second instead of the third, and once you get to hit the G string, switch to a blues scale, throw in the blues note. You know, you'll get pretty close. So you go. One more time, real slow. And you know, I'll just really go for it as fast as I can. Now comes the hardest part of the solo, which is the Sykes sort of trademark speed picking thing. What he does is he plays thirds on the high E string and alternates between them. So a third is an interval of 2 notes, and he alternates between the 2 notes and moves up through the scale. He starts off on the 12th fret of the high E and alternates between 12 and 16 like this. Then he moves up to 14 and 17. Then 16 and 19. But he's doing this at very fast. I kind of like the fast he can go, and I can't even get really anywhere near as fast, but something like this. to do it. You need to be warmed up with you know, and sort of just really, it's almost like you're trend picking the high E and then alternating between these notes as you go on. And then he descends through the pentatonic scale and sort of comes back up. So like. And when you come back up, you want to hit a bend at the 19th fret. And from there, you want to do another descending bluesy sort of lick. Anything will work really. You can even try to throw in some diatonic stuff. You know, anything, you know, stay in sort of the same tonal region. Play around with F sharp minor, F sharp pentatonic. And then you end it with some more bends, another sort of bendy sort of like an F sharp again, classic sort of bluesy licks. And then work your way up high through the scale until you sort of reach like a high bend. You know. But with the solo, it's kind of like take elements of what he does, come up with your own thing. You know, kind of, if you want to stick, you know, and be true to the solo, then do what I told you. But if you want to improvise your own thing in F sharp minor, that's fine. You know, there's no real sort of melody in this solo, so it's okay to do that. But coming out of the solo, there is a nice melody harmony bit. So coming out of the solo, you then switch to a melodic part, which is very nice. It's in A. And what you want to do is you want to start off on the 7th fret of the D string. And what you do is, and then you play the 5th fret on the G, and you alternate between 7 on D, 5 on G. And then you play a descending minor arpeggio of E minor, which is 4 on the G, 5 on the D, 7 on the E. You put it together, you get. And that's a very nice sort of harmony part coming out of the solo. So that's how you play the solo and that harmony part afterwards. And that's pretty much the entire song. So try if you can to play along. And in the next video I'll talk a bit about tone and technique and why it's such a great song to play.